All right, our next supplier is SmartSense by Digi. Let me explain a little bit about that for you real quick. SmartSense helps food service operators and restaurants reduce risk, prevent loss, and protect revenue through real-time monitoring, HACCP compliance reporting, and prescriptive workflows. Their wireless sensors track temperatures across coolers, freezers, and storage areas, while automated alerts guide staff through standardized corrective actions and daily checklists. Digital workflows replace manual logs, reduce human error, and document food safety compliance with precision. Integrated label printing and label management ensure accurate prep, hold time, and expiration labeling, taking the guesswork out of compliance. And here to talk more about that is the head of solutions consulting, Mr. Alex Yang. Come on up here, Alex.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Yang, and I lead our solutions consulting team at SmartSense. You might know us also by Jolt, which was a recent acquisition that we performed. And ultimately, as an organization, that's what we are striving to do is work with food safety professionals across best technology, as well as operators and industry professionals. Our team is led by different food safety professionals, former auditors, as well as operators across the field. And that's how our team is built and where we really focus on different health and safety issues across organizations and your locations. And what we found is that health and safety is critical across all different locations and that there's a lot of different gaps. Recent studies have shown that brands and customers retention is really dropping. So it's really focused around repeat customers and how you're performing every single day consistently across all your locations. And you can see this report that summarizes all this type of information of how operating environments are just getting tougher and tougher. And when traffic is down, your revenue depends on you being consistent and having your repeat customers actually enjoy the experience and not having negative feedback. And that's why every single guest matters more than ever because it's not only their individual experience at one time, but also your reputation, what shows up on social media, as well as really word of mouth, because that's what's helping you keep your business consistent and growing over time. And if you have poor, inconsistent experience or inconsistent across multiple locations, that's where execution really matters across all the different areas, tools, and employees that you have, including with increased turnover and onboarding new employees faster and faster so that they meet your brand standards. And where it's really around safety and health and different compliance that you have in all of your operations, it's really things about consistency, the tools you have, and the data that you have. Because what we find, especially at a show like this, is you might look at a lot of different technologies and have more system, more data gathering, but that's not going to solve the problem itself. Because as you have more standard operating procedures, more rules, and more regulations, that doesn't actually teach people what to do, how to do it the correct way. And what's missing is ultimately using that data to actually have them do something actionable in the moment in an early preventative way. One of our customers, Cafe Rio, has seen that because it's not only about having the system in place itself, but it's about the delay, having them do it right away and having it very clear. Because even with systems, with data, there's still ambiguity around it because ultimately they had to figure out a way to be able to interpret the data, figure out what the system that's having an alert or a beep, know what to do about it, and ultimately know what to do so that they can do it early or preventative. Same thing with Sweetgreen, because as you imagine, Sweetgreen, because as a national brand with good reputation in high risk food like leafy greens, they have to make sure that they have consistent education because they believe that ultimately employees want to do the right thing. They don't always necessarily know how, especially again, as you have that turnover in new employees that they want to have consistent food safety so that they don't become a news headline, and that's where the gap occurs because they have those systems in place, but the employees need to be consistent across all those particular locations from a food safety perspective. And that's what these different brands have found that because the alerts themselves don't solve the problems themselves because that's not an outcome, right? An alert is a phone call that might get ignored. It might be beeping from a system, or it just might be data that shows up in a report. And every single team, every location, every employee might respond differently to it. And when you get all those different types of systems, it's just a different application or a different area that they might need to figure out where to go and what to do about it. So what they really need is a system to tell them exactly what to do next and having it be a standard execution across all those particular locations with a clear, concise, and consistent message across all those particular locations. So if you have those types of systems, monitors, or data collected, you need to get into the hands of the person that can do something about it early on and right away. And that's really where SmartSense and Jolt come in from our combined platform being SmartSense One of we have a system for health and safety execution and built around that. So instead of a system built around data, around sensors, around hardware, it's really built around the problem that we're trying to solve, which is health and safety. So what we provide is real-time monitoring with prescriptive actions. So what that means is when an alert is sent to the right person at the right time in the right situation, they're told exactly what to check, what to do about it, as well as having a feedback flow so that we have it from a HACCP compliance standpoint, from an auditing perspective, and then most importantly for your communities and the people that you're serving as well. In addition to that, we have that tie into workflows, different auditing with our newest announcement of Assure of having the ability to actually have follow-up reporting so you can have that consistency across all your locations, as well as label printing to actually have it be preventative. So you actually have a known time when things need to be thrown out, discarded, and actually recorded dynamically based off of it versus teaching people how to do the calculations themselves. So what we're doing is taking it from the signals and data capturing to actual safe outcomes. You actually see what's happening in real time when it happens. In addition to that, fixing it with prescribed actions of exactly what to do, preventing it with early detection and asset health. So knowing with the data what is happening incorrectly with machine learning and AI, and this is a failing unit, knowing that there's a compressor's broken, it's a fan, is there's freon leak, and actually knowing to fix it before the food spoils and having the temperature go up, and knowing that it has abnormal defrost cycles as an example, and then being able to prove it with logs and reports so you can show what happened when you do have health inspectors come and want to see what happened in your organization. And ultimately, that's making sure that you have the right action at the right time. So in the cases of Cafe Rio that we just mentioned, they went from a 40% compliance to 95 across all their restaurants. So if you imagine from a growing brand of 150 locations, going from 40% of people going on paper and pen and then needing to inspect it versus having a digital visibility and having them know exactly what to do from 95% across an entire location. In the case of Sweetgreen, they're able to pick up a phone, have visibility, have an alert, and actually direct people what's the right thing to do at the right time if there's something that seems amiss. And in the case of Honeygrow, that they are able to early identify what assets are failing, have poor performing units, and actually budget for it for the next year so they're not caught off guard and they can operate their business more effectively and focus on the right things and their budget from that perspective. So it's not about just helping the team respond, but faster, but they're also doing it correctly in a consistent way every single time. To learn more, please visit us at our booth at 6472 in the alternate hall, as well as asking for a free probe where we can actually show you how to use it within our platform and getting those digital logs and getting consistent feedback if there is something out of temp and follow-up actions. Thank you.